Welcome back to Aubrey Books and Coffee. Please grab your favorite beverage of choice and join me. We are going to, for the first time, start what I hope will be a recurring video, which will be all these books that I don't keep that I read each month. I'm going to start unhauling them on camera. Now, I've been unhauling them in the background because, as you know, or if you're new here, you're about to find out, all the books on my bookshelves are 5 stars. I only keep the 5-star books. That way I can reread them. That way I can do any kind of recommendation at a glance by just looking at my shelves. I try to get beautiful editions of them, and so on. So yes, so everything behind me in all my videos are beloved books that I absolutely would stand by. But that does mean, with me doing on average 20 books a month, that obviously lots and lots are not kept. Some that are even really, really close. They're like 4.99999. I just know I won't reread them. And sometimes it's ones that not only would I not reread them, but there's only certain people I would recommend them for. So those, in that case, get the highest rating I give on average, which is the 4 stars. And I have to unhaul them if I own them. And so I take them to Half Price Books typically. I get some cash. I look around to see if there's anything there I want to buy. And then I go to Barnes & Noble to see if there's anything there. So this time, though, I thought, there's all these unhaul videos out there, and I never have a video because I'll only ever have 2 or 3 at a time because I get rid of them as I go. I thought, how about I collect them? So I've been collecting them over the last couple of months so I can do an unhaul here with you, and then I can take you with me when I go shopping. So without further ado, let's get started. So in the first bag of to-be-sold items, I have Assistant to the Villain. This is the only one I've read so far in the series. I said in my review video, loved it, loved it, loved it, cannot wait to continue, but don't love it enough to want to keep it, so it's going. Then I'm also unhauling Splintered. This was a DNF for me, but if you're into Alice in Wonderland retellings, I've heard amazing things from other people. It's a me thing. Then I'm unhauling Beasts of Prey. Again, what a wonderful concept of a magical zoo with magical creatures. It was just a little too heavy for me, especially starting off, so I'm unhauling it, and I did DNF it. Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, as well as the book before it, which is Serpent and the Wings of Night. I am unhauling these because I actually have them in hardcover now, and I'm going to Epolycon, and at Epolycon, I have some covers that will go over those hardbacks that are special edition. So I can now unhaul the paperbacks. I'm also unhauling Dark Secrets by Elizabeth Chandler. This is a collection of 2 different stories. I just couldn't get into it. It wasn't for me. So back to Half Price it goes. Then I'm unhauling The Paladin Prophecy. Again, I just couldn't get into it. I wanted to. Premises of these books are so good. That's why I picked them up. But the writing style just wasn't grabbing me. So back to Half Price you go. Then She Who Rides the Storm, I actually DNF'd it. It was so boring to me in the beginning. There's a whole lot of setup of the world and politics. So if you're okay with that, this I've heard great things about from people who don't mind that. I was bored, so it's getting unhauled. Then my book of the month choice of Babylonia. I gave this a 3-star. I thought it was okay. It was a solid story. The ending left a little something to be desired. I kind of wanted more from it, but it's still a 3-star, so I don't keep it, so it's getting unhauled. And last in this bag is Dean Koontz' The Crooked Staircase. This is the 3rd one in that series that I did on my library vlog. I did the first book during a TBR game. The second book I did as part of my library vlog. This is book 3, but like I said in my vlog, I'm kind of done following Jane. I'm just not interested anymore. So now going into bag number 2, starting off with Dread Nation. This I did give 5 stars, highly recommend it, but I have the hard copy of it now and it's on my shelf up there. So love, 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 but now I can unhaul the paperback. Winterwood. This was a book club pick for my book club. Sadly did not deliver quite like I wanted. I gave it 3 stars. The premise is really cool. It just kind of gets a little murky and lost in the woods, not to be funny, as the story goes. So it just wasn't a huge favorite of mine, so it's getting unhauled. Dead Love. Thought it was so boring in the beginning. I could not finish it. I couldn't even really tell you much about it, just that it really didn't pull me in like the premise said it would, so it's getting unhauled. The Bare Bones. I attempted multiple times because this is one of those books that's supposed to be off of the show Bones. So boring. Could not get into it. It's getting unhauled. The Puppets of Spellhorst. I actually won this with Alcrate. They were about 6 months behind in sending it to me. But regardless, I did eventually get it. Even for as tiny as it is, I just couldn't get into the writing style. The writing style just wasn't for me. So it's getting unhauled. Then one of my book club picks for Christmas, The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. I actually thought this was cute. I was in the minority. Most people don't seem to really like this one. I thought it was adorable. I gave it a high 3 stars, so it's getting unhauled. Then Escaping from Houdini. This is part of that Stalking Jack the Ripper series. I have really enjoyed my ride with it, but only in the 3 and 4 star variety of enjoying, so I am happy to unhaul this one. Then The Naturals. I really had a good time with it. I'm excited about all the books in the rest of the series. I'm definitely continuing it. I believe I gave it a 3 or a 4 star. I can't remember. I do a lot of rose-colored glasses, so in my mind it's a 4 star, but if it's a 3, I'm sorry, I told you wrong. But I don't need to keep it because either way it's not a 5, so I'm unhauling. And then Alice in Borderland Volume 6. Don't worry, I have another copy. This is one I got at Christmas from my mom. She didn't know I already had this one, so it's a repeat, so that's why I'm unhauling this. I am keeping 5 stars all the way through the entire series. I am keeping the rest of them, though. You best believe it. And then I'm unhauling Sparks Like Stars. This was a book club pick for my Page Turner's book club at the library, my local library. It didn't grab me like I wanted. I was really, really bored. I did finish it. I think I gave it a low 3-star rating. It was just boring. So much of the story is interesting, and then it gets really, really boring and long chunks of it. So definitely okay with unhauling. Then I'm unhauling The House of Eve. I loved this. I gave it 4 stars, not enough to keep it on my shelf. It was another book club pick at my local library, and I believe a Reese's book club pick as well. So highly recommend you pick it up and read it. It's fantastic. I just am not going to keep it or reread it on my shelf. Then I'm unhauling The Marsh King's Daughter. We're just doing a whole bunch of book club books here. This was another book club at my local library's pick. Very intriguing. They do have a major motion picture, but everybody at book club said don't waste your time. The actual motion picture is boring and awful and not accurate to the book at all. It's actually a smaller book, so I would recommend it. Just know it's not going to be anything hugely earth-shattering, and there's a few things the main character does that are just incredibly irritating, especially as a mother. But that being said, it was an enjoyable ride. I gave it a 3 star, so I'm unhauling it. A Dawn of Onyx. I am 100%. I gave this 5 stars, and I would keep it, except like I said, going to a Polycon and planning on getting a gorgeous hardcover edition, hopefully signed. I am really, really excited. I thought it was a fantastic read and can't wait to get a pretty edition of it. So this one I am unhauling. And last but certainly not least, Can't Spell Treason Without T. It is a very pretty edition, so I'm hoping that Half Price will give me some decent money for it. It was cute. It was one of our book club, like ABC book club picks. We had a good time with it. I gave it about a 3 star. It's got the cozy vibes, but honestly thought Legends and Lattes was a little bit better, and they're very, very similar. So it's going to get unhauled. So thank you all for the unhauling go-through process. And now let's see how much we get for selling it and shopping.